Good evening and welcome to another video by Russia UK, the channel that's light years ahead of the rest of the competitors. Well, let's put it this way, even the newspapers. Remember I've done a video a couple of weeks ago telling you how Ola is launching in London, and it's only now in the last few days that you would have heard it on the newspapers that Ola is actually launching in London. So right here you had the news 2 weeks ago, way before even the TfL website, saying Ola has been listed on their website as a private hire operator. You know, so this is the place to be. This is where you'll get your hot off the press news. And this is another thing we're going to talk about exactly on this topic right now, and it's about taxation. So let me ask you a question. How do these multi-billion dollar companies end up paying 0% tax? Okay, and obviously you're saying that they register themselves offshore and all them sort of things, which is correct, and this is exactly how they do it. And I won't go too much into it, but I'll just give you a brief insight. Obviously what they do, these companies, the likes of Starbucks, Nando's, Uber, Amazon, and all them sort of big companies that you hear on the newspapers that pay no tax whatsoever or very little. The way they do it is actually they divide the companies into certain segments, and what they do actually is sell certain parts, like for instance the image rights. They'll sell it. So if you're opening your own shop there, you'd have had to buy the image right, you'd have had to buy the branding rights as well, and you probably have to finance this through another different company, but it's all part of the company. But what they do is actually separate the actual components into a various amount of things, and then obviously these guys are placed in abroad, some in Asia, America, Europe, and all them sort of things. But obviously what we want to do here is concentrate on our side of things as a private hire driver. Now, paying tax is very, very important, especially now the likes of Uber around. Yeah, your details, your actual earnings are kept for whatever amount of period they're meant to keep it, and they will keep it for that amount of time as well. Now, for instance, if you were to be investigated by HMRC, Uber at that time will have no problem handing over all your earnings. And that also actually goes for local bases as well. They could do exactly the same thing if you were to be investigated. Now, the problem is, if you never paid tax, for instance, you started paying now, but you've been driving for 3 years. Now, if you get caught then, it becomes a bigger problem. And mainly because for instance, Uber will say, okay, 3 years ago this guy earned £50,000, but obviously you can't show all the receipt and everything for that time as well, so you'll probably be clobbered with the full 50,000, everything, the tax you need to pay, and also the penalties because you failed to keep proper records and all them sort of things. So it can get quite messy on that side of things. Right, so let's go back to what's actually happening, and this is the place obviously for hot off the press news. Now, going back to the likes of Amazon. Now, Amazon is the biggest culprit in all of this. It's mainly because of its size. Now, we know, for instance, government have always turned a blind eye on these companies. If anything, sometimes they actually encourage them, and the net is actually drawing a lot more closer. But I'll relate that back to how it compares to us Uber drivers back on later on in the video. Now, let me give you an example, and let's look at Amazon, because obviously, as I said, that's the biggest one to get the knife. They are looking at Amazon, actually, the company Amazon are actually trying to divert it, and what they are doing is they're targeting the FBAs. Now, the FBAs are the people who actually supply Amazon. But these FBAs of Amazon doesn't have to be big companies that supply them. You or me could actually supply Amazon. Actually, I did go and done that venture some time ago where I tried to be an FBA. I could have actually done it. I run out of, well, my budget was £3,000. And what happened was I said to myself, as soon as I hit the £3,000, and if my product is not in Amazon store, then I'm pulling out. And that's exactly what I've done. But the story, can I just tell you this really quickly? And this is one of the reasons my videos are so rubbish, is because I keep diverting. So I wanted to supply Amazon, and so the first thing you would actually do is go to Alibaba.com, and you could do this actually, well, after you've watched this video, obviously, and find a product that you want to sell on Amazon. And let me trust me, the amount of products China produces is unbelievable. Even Amazon ain't supplying every single thing that Alibaba has. So find a product as in Alibaba. You know, you need to do a bit of research, and what you need to do afterward is you need to make it unique. And this is another thing actually. The amount of interaction I had with the Chinese suppliers through Alibaba, and this is another reason I have so much respect for these Chinese people. I mean, they are proper professional to the dot. You know, I mean, this is the reason why China is way ahead of everybody else. The amount of free samples I got from them was unbelievable. You know, I had stacks of them, and this is one of the reasons actually I stopped doing it at the end, because my conscience took better of me. So you say to them, can I have a sample? And they send you a sample straight away, more or less. And then I had this supplier once who actually sent me a whole box as a sample. You know, there must have been about 50, 60 items. Obviously, I'm not going to tell you what the item is, but, you know, they did that. And it works as well, because your conscience actually takes... It's like, I remember, I'm from Bangladesh. And if you go to any Asian country down there, and say you went to buy a shirt, for instance, you know, they lure you into the shop and everything. But you know what they do after that is they start giving you coffees, teas, whatever, biscuits. You know, they put the fan on, and you think to yourself, God, you know, I mean, this guy's already spent half the shirt price on me, and obviously it doesn't work on everybody, but they do know that certain amount of people, the tactic they use in there will actually, you know, end up in our cells. And this is what the Chinese do. They are very professional. So anyway, back to, so you research the product you want to sell, and that's through Alibaba. Check it up with Amazon, see, you know, they're not stocking the same thing. If they are, you could still carry on, and, you know, you need to make it unique in your own way, really. And trust me, the Chinese know how to make everything unique. You know, they're brilliant at this. And you also need to know how to package it. So, you know, you could do the packaging here, but obviously, you know, if you are buying it from down there, you probably need to buy another packaging, another supplier that packages the same thing. And but the thing is, right, to do something like this, you really need to have the time. And I think that's one of the things where I faltered. I didn't have no time. You know, you really need to even go and have a visit down there to make sure everything is done properly. And another thing I didn't, you know, thought I'd be doing, which I didn't, and that's another reason why that didn't actually go ahead. But trust me, you know, it's not easy. But if you put your head down and you wanted to supply Amazon, you need to do. You need to go to Alibaba, find the product, do the research, you know, do the packaging, make it unique, you know that whatever you need to do, and it does work. I might even do a video on that. Actually, it's quite an interesting journey I had there. You know something, I'm just thinking I might not do that. What I might do, you know something, I'm coming up to my 2,000 subscribers, and I'm just thinking, you know, I mean, I might give you guys something on my 2,000 subscribers. I think I'm about 200-300 subscribers away. And what I mean by that giveaway is I will show you actually how you can make money sitting down. You know, because that's what we do, taxi drivers. We don't want to, you know, we don't want to work too hard. and through eBay, because eBay is that's a shop already done for you. That's where everything come. But I'll teach you something, and you'll be unique to every single person. And if you could do it, and trust me, you can, you might start earning something. You know what I mean? But leave that till I get my 2,000 subscribers, and I'll, you know what I mean, that's something I'll do for you guys. But obviously, me to get to 2,000, if you want to subscribe quickly, I'll do that video more quicker. But I'll come back to that. And if you don't subscribe, obviously I'll still do it. It might take a bit more, a few more weeks, whatever. But I'll do that. Something I might give away something there. Right. So back to what I was saying about this taxation thing. Right. So the FBAs, the guys who supply them, what Amazon are thinking actually is checking up on their records. So what they're saying, this is what they're proposing. It's not definite yet, although all FBAs are meant to pay the taxes and all that sort of thing. But obviously, just like Uber drivers, we're all meant to pay taxes and do the books legit and everything like that. But a lot of us don't, and this is a problem. But Amazon are saying, okay, we're going to do random checks. This is what they're proposing. We're going to do random checks and making sure that you are actually paying the right taxes to whatever invoice you sent us, or we sent you, or whatever the amount of products we sell. And if that doesn't matches, if that record doesn't match ours, you are off the platform. Now, how many times have we heard that? Off the platform. We've heard it with Uber, and this is what I'm trying to get back to. I'm not saying this will happen, but this, trust me, is what is heading. Uber, in the long run, will say to drivers, randomly, whatever, you need to pay your taxes. They also give you a yearly summary, which you could get access through your platform, about how much they have actually paid you. They'll deduct their commission and tolls and all that sort of things. And for instance, if that figure was £50,000, and if they requested you to show them that you paid tax, although they might not do something themselves, but what they will do is take you off their platform. And this is the reason I say, things ain't looking that good, and Amazon is leading the way. And this is one of the things I always try to look for, because it's not all happening at the Uber end, it's happening somewhere else, and it just ripples through. But I'll try and stop this video now, because I've been rambling on a bit. But that's the topic of today, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll speak to you on the next one. Bye bye now.